All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Chakurash. Say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem Chakurash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the Spirit and power of Bahashem Yahushai, and to the elect on the four corners of the planet Earth. We say Shalom. May Yahweh Shah seal the elect and set up the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So let's jump right into this lesson. The title of this lesson is E is crashing out. Okay, E is crashing out. Economy is in a tailspin. Okay, circling the drain. They're gonna get more expensive, especially with these tariffs, because just like the apostles and elders speak on, that people don't know how money works. That's why knowing these things, you can see if you tie in economics with the infrastructure of this earth, you can see that there's a financial push coming. That's why they're burning the dollar. Okay, that's why they're printing it off at a high rate. This government shutdown, all these things everything is coordinated because he has to plan these things, because he has to keep power. The one thing about, just like they say, when you tell a lie, you have to tell 5 more to back up that one lie. Once you live a life of lies and trickery, okay, because that's what this man does. You have a whole life just to keep that lie afloat. You have a whole dedication, a system, and that's what you see taking place. There's a control apparatus when it comes to these alphabets, comes to these, what do they say, the deep state and all these different terms, what they want to call it, which we just call it the wicked. All right, the council of the wicked, which is in the earth. That's these Edomites. Okay, that's their lot. That's what they've been given. They've been given rulership over the planet Earth. But what's happening now? There's a transition in taking place, because their mindset is they want to eat. That's why the scripture says, while he's about to eat, the Lord is going to cast fire upon him. So he's going to let his plans go to a certain level, to a certain height, and then he's going to be judged. And that's what we're seeing now. So we got to anticipate, guess what? He will get off some of this stuff that he wants to, but he's not going to get the full logistics, because he's pushing towards this digital currency, which is absolute control. You know, he's going to be able to control the masses on a level that he's never had before. Okay, so I'm going to play this video. This is from Homestead Journey, and this is fair use. This is for educational purposes only. This is just to show you that these Edomites are crashing out. It's men, it's women. Some of these people could be Jakes, but, you know, we've been in the curses, so it's nothing new. So even the confusion of face that may have slid by the radar, you know, their spirit is Jake, but they might have, you know, been able to live a little bit better than Jake because of the way they look. That those times are coming to an end. It's everything is going through that press, the hard times, the straits. Okay, so this is fair use again, for educational purposes only. This is not for any kind of monetary gain. And I'm gonna let this play, and I'm gonna stop it here and there, make commentaries, pull out some precepts, however the Spirit has it. Lord willing, this is edifying. Let's play this.
Afford what's going on in their lives. They can't afford the bills. They can't afford the cost of living. And everyone is feeling crushed by these rising prices.
I'm about to lose my shit. I am about ready to blow a gasket. I swear, I am. I just got off the phone with my mortgage company, right? Because they called me. I was like, why did my mortgage company call me? I'm up to date on everything. Everything's cool, right? You know, I just checked my bank account to make sure the payment came out. I actually sent them $890 instead of $840, which, you know, is what I'm supposed to send them. And they called me up, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? They were like, well, Mr. Hayes, we're calling to let you know that as of November 1st, your mortgage payment's going to be going from $840 a month to $991 a month. And I was like, for what? They're like, well, you're $900 short in escrow. And I was like, what do you mean I'm $900 short in escrow? How is that possible? How? Explain this to me. They go, well, your homeowner's insurance went from $2,600 a year on up to $3,400 a year. I said, for what? I haven't had any claims. I haven't had any issues or pop up or anything like that. What do you mean? Why has it gone up so much? Well, Mr. Hayes, you're going to have to call your insurance company for that. So now I'm going to have to call my insurance company to find out why in the my insurance went up so much to cause my mortgage payment to go from $841 a month to $991 a month. I'm barely making it as it is right now. Barely. We ain't doing bad, but we ain't doing great.
See? That statement right there is the life of Jake. I'm talking about the modern Jake. We've been in this situation of being nourished, going back to the scriptures telling us that we would be nourished for a time. That time is coming to an end. So we've been feeling the pinch for shit. COVID sort of took it. Jake was doing all right. Jake could just make it. But now you got these Edomites. They're getting the tail end of this thing. Okay, because they're the ones that have lived under the guise of we're better than Jake. We got a little bit more. What does it say? They got more assets. They got more equity in things. They can take loans out. They could, they have some inheritance coming to them, so they could put down payments on houses. Get co-signers for cars, have the good credit. All these things that they had access to, that they used that as a we're better than Jake. We're doing better than Jake now. With what's going on, because this economic financial crisis that they're engineering, because this poverty is fake. If they can print money, and they showed you during the pandemic that they could put it into your account, that was a trial run too. That payment system to be able to just deposit money into your account, you didn't have to fill out no paperwork. You didn't have to stand in a long line. As long as you file taxes, they can deposit it into your account. So it's easy as that. So poverty is a engineered thing. They can turn everybody's life upside down overnight. Deposit the money and it's printed off anyway. They're printing money off to do whatever fuckery they're doing. That's why it says when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. Now you're seeing it. I'm quoting that scripture, but if you want to look it up, definitely post it in the comments. But this has been going on for a long time. They could change people's lives overnight with a couple hits on the button. But what they do is they do it for their own people. They do it for those that bowed the knee. That's why they pretty much say a blank check. You got a blank bank account. Name a number and they'll put it in there for you. So this right here is a prime example of these Edomites are crashing out. And it's their own. They don't got and they know they can't blame Jake. They could try to figure something out, but they know, guess what? They know Jakes don't run the insurance companies. They know we don't run the mortgage companies, all right? And who runs that banking industry. So now you got to think they're putting the pinch down on them. Jake Ben ain't had nothing. We don't have anything here. We live check to check, but we know how to make things work. We know how to make it look good, okay? So let's keep listening.
What the man?
Well, I've hit my breaking point. I literally cannot afford to live, pay bills, or any of this shit. And why the am I alive? Like, I almost just bawled my eyes out inside a Walmart because I realized that I literally cannot afford to live.
And this is a, nice looking Edomite looking girl. She might not have a man or be able to, that independent spirit. But either way, you would think that she would be able to get some kind of help or some kind of thing, or enough men paying her bills. But they losing, man. This is a tall tale sign right here. Okay, because these are the curses. Curses don't distinguish between how cool you look or how cool you may be, or your look status is gonna get you, man. Same thing with Jake. Jake could have 100 million in the bank and still catch hell by the way of the curses.
What the is wrong with our economy? Like, what? What? It's either like this is my weekly life. It's either eat, pay money to eat, or don't pay other bills, or pay bills and don't eat, or like it's just like I have to ask my parents to help me to survive because I have no money, because all my money.
So let's get this precept real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 66. NLT. Hold on, let's pull up the NLT. It says, your life will consistently hang in the balance. You will live night and day in fear, unsure if you will survive. You can't get no plainer than that. Can't get no plainer than that. It don't get no plainer than that. Okay? Read it one more time. Your life will consistently hang in the balance. You will live night and day in fear, unsure if you will survive. Damn. Was that 66? So let's read 67. In the morning you will say, if only it were night, and in the evening you will say, if only it were morning. You will be terrified by the awful horrors you see around you. Then the Lord will send you back to Egypt in ships. So that's saying what happened to us. The Negro, Latino, and Native American fell under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. But there's a clause in the scriptures that also says that the Lord will put these curses on our enemies. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull that real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. It says, in the future, when you experience all these blessings and curses, I have listed for you. So that's what we're telling the nations. We're not in here telling them that we're this innocent people. No, we're telling you that, look, we did go off. We acknowledge our sins. We acknowledge our what does it say? We acknowledge our downfall when it came to us being taken down and being dispersed to the four corners of the planet Earth by way of this diaspora, all right, by way of the transatlantic slave trade, going into the time of the northern tribe coming over to the Americas. All these things, we're separated from our land, separated from our culture, separated from our family. So we've been shattered, okay? But now what the Lord said is that, when you are living among the nations, so this is more proof, this is another backup to show you that we are those Gentiles because we're living amongst the nations. That's why the Lord is calling his people from among the nations, among the people. Okay, we were scattered in their land, and if you've been scattered there for generations, your offspring or your descendants, they're gonna look like the land that they're at. Let's put it to you like this: a lion is a lion, right? But what is a jaguar? That's in the cat family. That cat has been in that area, that environment so long that it adjusted and it looks different. It don't look like a lion, but guess what's in the cat family? What does it say? Not a jaguar, but there's another type of cat. It's a shorter version. I think it's not a panther, but the name escapes me. But these different feline cats, okay, they adjust to their environments. They're still in the cat family, just like you got a Bengal tiger, okay? A Bengal tiger, they're in the Indian area, okay? They are still they're related to the lion, but they look different. They have different coats, they have different look to them. They don't have the mane that a lion does in the African the African lands. Okay, the lands in Africa, but it's still considered in the cat family. So us as Israelites have changed our look. Even though we are Israelites, we come from that stock. Okay, we come from that nation, that nationality. Okay, the genealogy of Israelites, but we living in these different places. Our looks have changed to adapt to the areas that we're at. Okay, because if an Israelite man sleeps with a woman of, let's say, Asia, China, a Chinese woman, that son is going to look a little bit like his mother and then a little bit like his father. And if that son has another son with an Asian woman, his son is going to look more Asian than his father does, because his father has more of his grandfather's genes. And then ergo, another generation goes where that great grandson sleeps with another Chinese woman. That son is going to be almost indistinguishable from the nation, the Asian culture and the Asian environment. But if you trace that man's line all the way back, you will find a Negro, okay, an Israelite at that patriarch. So the line comes directly from that man, but the look has changed according to, just like certain soil. There's grass, okay. Let me see. Let me try to put it in a way. Hold on. Here, let me try this. Let's see. How many kinds Okay, so it says there are about 1,400 species of grass in the United States. I didn't know there was this much damn grass. Okay, you would think grass is grass. No, it's not grass. It's different species of grass. So grass changes, and the only reason I know this because certain cows, if you feed a certain cow a certain type of grass, the meat will taste different. It will have a different taste to it because of the grass that it's eating. Okay, so the grass itself, the Lord has 1,400 different species of grass in America alone. Okay, so they're showing you the biodiversity of just grass in itself. So the diversity of Israelites have changed from your usual typical Israelites going back to the time of Moses, going back to the time of David, okay, going back to the time of 70 AD, going back to the time when we were in the land of Palestine. Things change. So what's happening now is that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is redeeming us and giving us back who we are in the heritage, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That way we can come back to who we are regardless. That's why John was asked, who are these? And he said, thou knowest. I don't know who they are. I don't know these people. Because in the time of John, the apostles and the men of Israel, it was a racial thing, because you didn't have, there could be spies. Same thing going back in the time of Moses in the wilderness. You had spies. When they spied out the land of Canaan, they had to be low key, or if they were found out, they would have been judged. They would have been dealt with. So it wasn't just everybody can come and do what they want. It didn't work like that. So the same thing you see happening now is that we're coming back to who we are, and we're coming back to that identity by the Spirit. That's why it says the Spirit bear witness that we are the children of Yasharallah. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that point out. Let's go back into this video and play it.
Money goes to bills. How do people live like this?
Well, Jake been living like this. That's man, that's Tuesday to Jake. Not being able to get food in the store, that's Tuesday. That ain't even weekend troubles. That's not heavyweight troubles at all, man. Jake is and especially the Jake man. because we sort of have to suffer in silence, you know. But the Jake woman, she's been getting food stamps, Section 8, all these little goodies that she's been sucking the devil's tit for. But when it comes to this, like, man, hey, we've been hard up. We just had to make do. That's why Jake had to rob. They had to do criminal shit, sell packs, do any kind of, you know. There's some Ivy League Jakes that they'll go hit the gym, or they'll play basketball or have some talent in baseball or football, and they'll make it out. But Jake has just been grinding, man. We've been grinding knee deep in these curses, man. This is just a woman that is really entitled. That's all you can say. She's not. What does it say? She's not accustomed to the hard life. Okay.
And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I almost think I need to move home, because like I literally have no money to survive. Like, this is fucked. This is literally fucked. Why is the government and why are the states and why is all this shit built like this?
I'm about to lose everything, and I don't know what else to do besides come up here and vent, because I'm at wit's end. For like over half a year, maybe a year now, I have been struggling to pay all my bills on time. And when I first moved into this apartment 5 years ago, that wasn't an issue at all. When it comes to monthly bills in general, my bills aren't as high as a lot of people who I know are struggling and making it happen. So I feel ashamed sometimes as a man or as a person that I can't come up with the bills. It's frustrating. My educational background is an actor, and originally I was in LA before the pandemic trying to figure out how to make that a career, and COVID kind of brought me back to Philadelphia. When it comes to acting, what I love, what I dream, I can't pay my bills off of that. And to supplement my income, I drive Uber. Now, when I first started driving Uber, like in a weekend, Friday to Sunday, it would be easy to make, $700, let's say on average, 5 to 7, maybe 8, maybe 4, depending on how busy it was. But, I was able to get by. And unfortunately, every year, as the cost of groceries and electricity and everything has been going up, the amount that I've been able to make off of Uber has been going down. It seems like they'll charge somebody $40 and then they offer the person who's driving an Uber $12. If they charge someone $60, they offer the person who's driving for Uber $16. It's crazy how much money they take. So
it's just, you see he goes through the breakdown. He has a girlfriend too that's trying to help him. But let's play this next one. We'll get some precepts.
And made $20. So I don't know what to do.
Here I am. It is 11:45 at night on a Wednesday. I'm sitting on my bathroom floor because I feel like I'm going to have a literal mental breakdown. How are people surviving? How are we doing this? Like, single people specifically, single people in their late 20s that live in a city. How the
No offense, you've been misled into thinking only authors can sell thousands of books on Amazon every...
you surviving? Tell me. Please, please. I am 27 years old. I live on my own in Philadelphia. I'm a woman. I went to school for 5 years. I have a bachelor's degree in digital marketing. I owned my own business for 9 years on top of that. And I can't find a job anywhere. I'm trying to utilize my degree, can't find a job anywhere. I've been applying for months, almost a year. Can't, nothing. 2, I'm struggling while living on my own. Struggling. Like, I can't even put food on my table. I can't even afford my bills. I'm playing bill roulette every single month. Savings, don't know her. cushion, emergency cushion, don't know her either. I'm at a loss of words. How the are people doing this? I'm on the fence, and I've essentially made the executive decision that when my lease is up, I have to move back in with my parents just to play catch up. Just to play catch up on debt, just to put money in my savings again, just to re-regulate my nervous system. Because being in constant financial distress destroys your body, destroys your emotional sanctity. I'm in a constant mode of fight or flight, wondering if I'm going to make enough money to get by and survive and not get evicted from my apartment, or I'm going to be able to feed myself. Just basic human necessities. With my chronic pain, with my chronic symptoms, my chronic health issues, this is just like poking the bear. It's poking the bear. Being in a constant state of financial instability is horrible for your mental and physical well-being. And if you already have something baseline that is wrong with you health-wise, this is just like adding fuel to the fire. I feel like I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff. Like I can't even enjoy my life.
Let me tell you how I know the economy is bad. I made a post about living in extended stay hotels. It has close to 1,000 comments. Hundreds of people talking about how they live in extended stay hotels and in their cars. Number two, I'm in a forum on Reddit, and every other post is about different types. They have the new sort of like payday loans that you do on your phone, and people are talking about how they can't even get those anymore. Like the ones that are against your check, people are extended beyond that. They can't get any kind of assistance. Number three, I would say every 20th video on my feed is about going to the food bank and what happens when you go to the food bank and how to use food from the food bank and what their people's experiences signing up for the food bank.
I'm gonna be returning stuff. We didn't love that pita bread. I'm gonna return it. That cherry jam, I don't think we're ever really gonna eat it. I'm gonna return it. The shirt felt kind of weird against my skin. Return. Put it on my car, give me the cash, I don't care. Gonna get that money back in the account because I need every dollar.
I think we reached a point now.
So you see it. You see it. The proof is right there. The proof is right there. We've been saying it. We've been saying it for a while. Then you got to, and I always like to go back to this. Some of these people were scoffers. Some of these people are on the internet talking shit. That they thought it was and that's why the Lord said, every idle word men shall give an account for. And day of judgment. I mean, we ain't even getting to that. These are the prelims. We ain't even got into the juicy stuff yet. This is light work, man. But the Lord has warned these people. Babylon ain't the thing. This Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And it says, the Lord your power will put all these curses on your enemies who hate you and persecute you. NLT, the Lord power will inflict all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you and persecute you. And those persecutors go on the scoffers. So 2/3 of our own nation fall under that category of persecutors. Because at the end of it, who was persecuting the disciples the most? Going back to the time when Paul was Saul, okay, Paul didn't, his mind wasn't in the same mind that he was when he became the Apostle Paul. So he was persecuting the church. Yahushua said it, wise thou kickest against the pricks. So persecutors, you see, Jake, that because they're just like heathens, they're not coming back to themselves as Israelites. Scoffers, so a lot of these Jakes in churches, a lot of these people that have joined hand in hand with this place and trying to bring everything in. That's why it says though hand join in hand, they're not gonna go unpunished, man. So we're telling you, these are the curses. These is real life. The Bible is real, man. Okay, it's real. It's not we just was talking shit. No, we went through it. We're going through it. Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 4, it says, when the doors of the street shall be closed and the sound of grinding fades, when people rise up at the sound of the bird, but all their songs grow faint. NLT, remember him. It says, remember him before the doors of life's opportunity is closed. Damn, that's heavy. Life's opportunity is closed and the sound of work fades. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. Because the windows are darkened, man. Yahbashim Al-Shai is putting an end to this place. And it says that what was one of the sins of Sodom is that they did not care for the poor. So these going into the elites. Even though the Lord is letting all these average Edomites and average Babylonians suffer, the elites are still going to pay for it on the back end. All right, because they have the power to change things, but Yahbashim Al-Shai is not allowing it. But if they had in their mind, in these elites, they could change things, but they're not going to. All right, because that's going to try to upset prophecy, and that's the main thing. Because prophecy is what we're going to get out on, man. That's the parole. That's the keys. That's the get out of jail free card, man. Once the prophecies are done and the elect is sealed, Yahbashim Al-Shai will enact judgment on the planet Earth, and it's gonna be fearful, man. You know, that's why it says the righteous was scarcely saved, man. All right, so it's going to be about a hair of your chinny chin chin type of thing, man. All right, but the Lord is requiring us faith, requiring us trust in these last days, because that's the best thing. All right, so Lord, when is edifying lesson with that, I want to say, call hello, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Rash. Until the next time, I say shalom and more, and I'll never keep faith. Shalom.